the battle for the heart of New York. It's the coach. This is Week 10 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, it's the rare road game for the New York Giants on their home field as they square off against their MetLife Stadium co-tenants, the New York Jets. I'll see you again in halftime. But for now, let's get it up to East Rutherford. Standing by are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go, and it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with that other team here in the metropolitan area, the New York Giants. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club, and they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here, losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. First drive coming up for the Giants offense, and they'll be led by quarterback Daniel Jones. Now, you had the Week 8 game. It was a loss for the Giants against Detroit 31-26, but for Jones, 4 touchdowns thrown, and that's the first time a Giants rookie had ever thrown 4 touchdowns in a road game, the most before Jones, 3 by Phil Simms back in 1979.
And I think there's some natural symmetry with that, because when Phil Simms was drafted in 1979 out of Morehead State in Kentucky, there was a heck of an outcry from the New York media, the fans, like, who is this guy? Why are we drafting him? Does that sound similar to Daniel Jones' name being called in Nashville last year at the draft?
Yes.
And both of them have panned out. Well, let's say Daniel Jones at the start of that. Simms panned out very well. The thing about Daniel Jones, rough start in Detroit, ended up giving up a touchdown on a lateral when he was tackled by someone trying to throw a pass. But he bounced back so quick.
It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for the Giants. 51 yards.
That's a big-time pitching catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Jets under new head coach Adam Gase. They will be led out by their 2nd-year quarterback, the 3rd QB taken in 2018, Sam Darnold.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Now the throw pulled in by Anderson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. He was the leading receiver for the Jets a season ago. Robbie Anderson, 50 catches, over 750 yards. And getting more and more comfortable with Sam Darnold. Now a year plus under their belts collectively. You'd figure that those numbers for Anderson might be trending further north. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Couple of plays sent him the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Now a draw play. This is Bell. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Giants set to get the football back, as we were discussing earlier, Charles, 2-6 after that loss against Detroit. As I said, you did the game. There seems to be some soul-searching going on with this Giants team. What were your observations?
Well, my observations are that this is a team that continues to improve. They still need more support at different positions. I think the roster still needs a talent infusion. But they've played hard. They've played well enough at times to be in games, but turnovers, not capitalizing on big plays on the defensive side of the ball. So a veteran like Alec Ogletree talked to the team pretty hard in the locker room after the game, and apparently there's going to be a veterans-only meeting or a team-only meeting to discuss how do we improve, because as they've said, this isn't on the coaches anymore. This is on us.
They'll host Dallas Monday night, and then they play their MetLife Stadium roommates, the Jets, before getting their open week in Week 11. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Henry Anderson there on the stop. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense takes the field again. We haven't discussed yet their Week 8 loss at Jacksonville that dropped them to 1-6. They lost that game 29-15. Ground game wasn't good. Le'Veon Bell just 9 carries, 23 yards, and then 3 picks as well for Sam Darnold.
Not to mention he got sacked a career high 8 times. And I know there was so much talk about his comment last week about seeing ghosts in the pocket. That's not what affected him in this game. And as I predicted, remember what I told you? He's a kid. He's used to living his life on stage. That ghost comment is not going to bother him at all. What bothers him is the fact that they can't generate offense. He's getting hit a lot and throwing way too many interceptions.
I will say the Jags mascot coming out dressed up as a ghost, that was a pretty good play.
Well, you know, nowadays there is a thing, I guess what would we call it? Friendly trolling?
Yeah.
That would be kind of that competitive trolling that we see nowadays. Got to give him credit for that one.
Week 8 was game 1 of a 2-game Florida stretch for the Jets, by the way. They'll go down I-95 to take on the Dolphins in Week 9 before returning home to face the Giants. On second down now, it's Bell, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
But he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. First catch there for Thomas. It's a first down. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. A run by Bell on first down, going to go nowhere as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Here's Darnold. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. Darnold going to lead the offense up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Darnold. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Golden. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Finds his tight end Ingram. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. They wound up getting nothing out of that 2nd down completion, so now here's 3rd and 10. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Remember with Rosas, there was some speculation last year in the preseason that he might not hold on to his job with the Giants.
But he certainly answered the challenge, didn't he? 32 of 33 during the regular season, 97% that is, and was named to the NFC Pro Bowl team. And by the way, at 6'3", 234, he can bench press your kicker.
This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Jets offense ready to go in this battle of New York. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Darnold, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. We take a look ahead at what's to come later tonight. Sunday Night Football, it'll be the Vikings and the Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And then tomorrow night, we've got the Seahawks and the Niners from Levi's Stadium. And we were in the Bay Area for the Raiders on Thursday night. Now right back out to watch the Niners on Monday night. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, and it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the 2nd quarter. Lamar Jackson has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head to the Big Easy to check on the Saints at home in the Superdome. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. 2 touchdown passes there for the venerable one, Drew Brees. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie, see what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And currently, they are tied with the visiting Bills in that one. Meanwhile, it was the rookie Daniel Jones living up to the hype as the 6th overall pick. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game, as we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this 2nd half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive.
Now Bell hit. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turn. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Jamison Crowder. His second touchdown on the season. And the Jets have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done.
And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 47 yards.
It's your first drive of the second half. You're down on the scoreboard. Maybe you just say to yourself, let's take a shot, see if we can shake them up. And, boy, they hit that one.
Throwing Jones. This is caught. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants are going to jump back in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now 17-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York. They had seized the lead there for a little bit with a starting drive in the third quarter, but a moment ago the touchdown that puts them back behind.
So their defense is under siege a little bit right now because they have not able to solve their opponents. So they've got to keep hammering away on offense and try and win this one in what appears to be a shootout.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Now this is Le'Veon Bell with a reception. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's a throw out line to Anderson. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Bell. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. the bootleg. Darnold. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Jamison Crowder. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jets have once again taken the lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They go play action here on first down. And off the deflection, it's caught. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Sometimes it pays to be lucky rather than good. That was not even the intended receiver on that pass.
But still able to haul it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Henry Anderson, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Jones. He completes it to Tate. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one good for 26 and a first down. Jones now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far, 1st and 10. And this is Shepard on the catch. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. So 2nd and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
They'll run with Barkley. Runs through the contact. And this winds up a disaster. Nowhere near the marker. The running play does not work from the 5 on 4th and goal. And the Jets are going to get the football back. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, They are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. And Darnold, he lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done.
And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence that they just get their assignments down, they get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now Darnold. He gets it to Thomas. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Darnold completes it, and they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Darnold trying to hustle everybody along with the clock moving. Back to throw. This one caught by Crowder. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. He's back to throw. And this is caught. Demaryius Thomas. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. Back to throw. Herndon's got it complete. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. He'll look to throw. And that one his first incompletion in its last 6 passes. And it's 3rd down. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Needed more than 3, but that's all they got. And it's 4th down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
Let's go! Let's go!
A look at Sterling Shepard as he and this offense get set to go again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. And they need 5 yards on third down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive. To throw is Darnold. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. A lot of people thinking that this could be a good year for Sterling Shepard to step out of the shadows of Odell Beckham Jr., but a season ago, pretty good for Sterling Shepard. And he is in for the score! And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, tried to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Giants, it's a rare victory for them as they get that record back to 3-7. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Jets, the difficult season continues as they drop to 1-8. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.